Welcome to the February 2nd episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Kerri Graham. With students and staff back on campus, it is once again time for everyone to do their part in keeping the community safe from the coronavirus. That means wearing your mask and getting tested weekly. To keep you current on all things COVID, here is Cara Fusco.
The new semester has begun, which has brought many questions as to how COVID-19 is going to impact this coming semester. Mandatory weekly testing for all students has begun and will continue until the end of the semester. Since March of 2020, North Adams has had 2,134 positive cases, with 358 new cases being reported in the 2 weeks up to January 27th. As of January 27th, North Adams has tested 2,658 people with a positive test rate of 14%, which is slightly above the county's average positivity test rate of 12%. As of January 28th, 10 members of the MCLA community have tested positive for coronavirus, making it 35 positive cases since the beginning of testing, with 20 students in isolation. As of right now, Vice President of Student Affairs, Gina Puck, said the school does not foresee MCLA going remote in the near future.
You know, I can tell you last semester, some of the key data points that kind of made us make that decision to flip remote were things like isolation spaces, the capability of Aramark to be able to do meal delivery and things like that. Once it had moved from the townhouses into Berkshire Towers, then we had 2 residence areas really highly infected, a number of students in isolation, a number of students in quarantine because no one was vaccinated at that point. I mean, I think the game has changed so much first of all, no one is a crystal ball, right? No one is the 8 ball. But, you know, at this moment in time, based on the fact that our current positivity is below 3% for the last 7 days, we had a much smaller proportion of students in isolation from move-in testing that we had geared up for. The fact that we've seen numbers dropping nationwide, numbers have really dropped in the Northeast in terms of new cases. Current epidemiology projections are showing that, you know, by March, we'll be in an even better spot maybe than we were last spring. And they're saying in the Northeast, activity can return to normal. You know, at this very moment in time, that just doesn't look likely, fortunately. Knock on wood, though, right? I mean, as we've seen with this so many times before, things can change dramatically.
The college will continue to follow all guidelines set by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health and require all members of the campus community to follow these guidelines as they participate in campus life. If you believe you have come into contact with COVID-19 or just aren't feeling well, always contact health services. MCLA has set up a hotline phone number for questions related to COVID-19 at 413-662-5550. The hotline is open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. You can also leave a message outside of these hours. For more information, visit MCLA's Coronavirus Dashboard every Friday for updated COVID-19 information. From Beacon Web News, this is Cara Fusco.
The Massachusetts Department of Transportation is working with the Mount Greylock Advisory Council to examine the possible benefits of limiting the access of larger vehicles on the mountain roads. A potential maximum length of 21 feet is being proposed, but there are no current plans for the immediate future. It's been 1 month since Jennifer Maxey, the first female mayor in North Adams, was elected, and she's already working hard to keep her promises to her voters. She told WAMC Northeast Public Radio that it's been a great experience meeting with both residents and business developers. Maxey realized when she talked to these important people that there is a lot of work that needs to be done and she needs a plan. Dr. Kerri Nicolls, Associate Professor of Sociology, Anthropology, and Social Work, has been recently recognized amongst the community for her work on the Williamstown Cares Project. Here is Isabel Mazzola with more on the story.
Associate Professor Social Worker Kerri Nicolls will be given an annual Peacemaker Award by the Northern Berkshire Community Coalition of her work in the Community Assistant Public Safety in Williamstown.
When Williamstown decided to create this new Diversity, Inclusion, and Racial Equity Committee. That was the first time I really thought, oh, this is something that I do. Like, I teach classes related to that. I know this field. Maybe this is a way I could contribute to the town I'm living in.
Nicolls saying how she is surprised she got the award, as others worked hard too.
From a member of the committee, and since I've been here, I've paid attention every year to who wins that award and been so impressed with the work that they're doing, and so it was unexpected and really is an honor.
As a Williamstown resident since 2014, Nicolls is aware of many issues the town police department has had in recent years, ranging from accusations of racism, misuse, and database to check backgrounds of the department critics.
Social work might have something to bring to the table in terms of how we interact with people, how we think about systems and what needs to change systemically rather than just individually.
Suggestion to have a social worker within the department was rejected by the team.
We're not sure that's the best solution for the social worker to be embedded in the police department. Would you be willing to put that money towards doing this kind of needs assessment to find out what's really needed before you hire someone?
Said that she and several other people worked collaboratively on the community assessment and public safety project.
Ideas were kind of being based on what was going on nationally, but nobody really had a sense of what does Williamstown in particular need. And so we started this project, and it's a qualitative research project that is conducting interviews with anyone in the community who wants to participate and asking them questions about their sense of safety and well-being in the community. I would really like to, continue to work with people in town government and the police department around what are some potential changes that could be implemented, and I want to, kind of see where this goes and see what is the best next step from once this is completed.
For Beacon Web News, I'm Isabel Mazzola.
On Friday, January 28, Cheshire officials talked about school heating issues and facilities management. Town Administrator Jennifer Moore stated that the heating issue in the building have been present since December 28th, but only last Friday she found out about this issue. Even though Adams Plumbing and Heating Inc. came to fix the problem, the issue was still standing. Moore stated that she doesn't have an idea on when Adams Plumbing and Heating plans to fix the issue permanently. There are several other buildings in town, including the fire and police departments, that have the same issue. Selectman Chair Michelle Francisconini stated that she wishes the town can eventually find a way to manage facility issues better. On Monday, January 31st, the athletic department updated their spectator policy effective immediately. Fans are welcome back into the Lions Den for the remaining basketball games and the shoe for the upcoming spring sports. Social distancing is highly encouraged and masks are required. Fans are excited with winter sports still in full swing and spring sports right around the corner. I'll pass it over to David to catch you up on the action in athletics.
Hello, my name is David Jamina, and this is Sports with David. We are in February, and we will dive into our winter sports. These sports include men's and women's basketball. Here's your sports roundup. On Monday, January 24th, the men's basketball team played Fitchburg at home. Both teams went cold on the offensive, and for the next several minutes and with 5:50 left to play, Fitchburg was still clinging to a 52-43 lead. MCLA clawed their way back, however, over the final few minutes. MCLA was paced by Dylan Morris Gray's 14-point night. Bird and Noah Yeasley each ended with 12 points. The Trailblazers were hampered by a 32% shooting night and a 19-16 performance at the line. MCLA fell short to the Falcons by 1 point as the game ended 59-60. This past Sunday, the Trailblazers completed their back-to-back conference matchups as they competed against Westfield with a 57-83 loss. The Trailblazers would get within 15 at halftime and then tighten things up further in the opening moments of the second half. After Westfield led 46-31 at the break, MCLA would get within 8 points at 50-42 on a Quentin Gritton's drive to the hoop Throughout the match, the Trailblazers tried their hardest to find a breakthrough but couldn't see it through. MCLA will play on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock to face Fitchburg State. Women's basketball also played on Sunday as they faced their conference opponent Westfield in a challenging contest. De Janeiro got it going in the second half with 16 of her 25 points coming in the final 2 quarters. The Owls were consistent and accurate, hitting 8 of 19 threes in the half, including 3 fourth-quarter triples. The final score of the game was 37-106. The Trailblazers are back at it again against Fitchburg State on Wednesday, 5 o'clock p.m. at Fitchburg. Spring sports are coming soon as the spring athletic programs are beginning to practice and get in shape. That was your winter sports roundup for Beacon News. This is David Jamina. Back to you, Carisha.
The women's team will be back in the gym Friday, February 4th when they face Fort Kent at 5 p.m. and again Monday the 7th at 5:30 p.m. in the Campus Center gym. The men's team will be facing Framingham twice this upcoming week. Catch the stream Monday the 7th on the MCLA Athletics website and show up to the Campus Center gym Wednesday the 9th at 7:30 p.m. to show your Trailblazer pride. If you want to learn more about getting involved in the main activities on campus, then come to the Virtual Spring Club Fair on Thursday, February 3rd at 11:30 a.m. You can join the ear meet. Pittsfield Mayor Linda Tier is the newly elected president of the Massachusetts Mayor Association. She said she is looking forward to collaborating on issues that plague the state while advocating for the city in Western Massachusetts. Some areas of the focus include recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, use of funding through the Federal American Rescue Plan, and Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and on housing, an issue particularly pertinent to Pittsfield. The much-needed work on Mark Hopkins is finally finished. Sarah Tomzik is back to check on the updates of the maintenance with a tour from Joe DeSalva to give us an inside look at the repairs.
Last semester, Mark Hopkins had mold issues and a damaged roof. With these issues, a renovation was needed.
Previous reports had found water stains and mold growing throughout Mark Hopkins. Rooms 201, 202, 203, 212, and 215 had the most notable damage, and room 201 had higher counts of cladosporum levels than any other room. MCLA hired SurfPro to test and clean all the rooms that were identified as area problems. What was done was the school replaced all the wall tiles, water stains, repainted walls, doors, and replaced carpets and more. Joe DeSilva, Vice President of Administration and Finance, explained that with all the cleanings and repairs that happened, there should be no levels of cladosporium in Mark Hopkins' future. For the roof repair, MCLA hired Silktown Roofing out of Connecticut. The restoration started around November, according to Bob Fortini, maintenance working foreman, and Joe DeSilva. During the process, there was a delay due to the shortage of installation. This pushed back the project to finish right before school was back into session. With hiring both companies to give Mark Hopkins its renovation, the total cost was estimated to be $456,000. The building has recently reopened, which allowed faculty to move back into their offices and students back into the classrooms.
And that's the latest update with Mark Hopkins. From Beacon Web News, this is Sarah Tomzik.
MCLA Athletics hosts their annual sports clinic for National Girls and Women's in Sports Day on campus. MCLA will offer a women's clinic and pickleball tournament. The event will be held on Saturday, February 5th. For more information, visit this URL. Okay. Winterfest is back in North Adams after its hiatus due to the pandemic last year. The festival will have a farmer's market, a craft fair, and a campfire, ice sculpture carving, horse-down wagon rides, and more. Winterfest is scheduled for February 19th in downtown North Adams. Temperatures have been brisk in the Berkshires. Ryan Powers has more on the wacky weather.
Welcome to your MCLA weather forecast. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow today, which means we will have 6 more weeks of winter. The temps crept back up this week, with Monday's high being around 29 degrees and then dipping back down just below freezing later in the evening. Tuesday, the sun peeked through just a little, with temperatures reaching about 35 degrees, and then it went back down to 19 at night. We're having the warmest day of the week on Wednesday with a high of 43, but only getting down to 33 at nighttime. Thursday, the temps are staying above freezing during the daytime with a low of 20 degrees rather late in the afternoon. Thursday evening, the system that is working its way across the country will move over us. Rain will quickly turn into a wintry mix later in the evening. Watch out for a layer of ice before the snow starts on early Friday morning. Don't expect to do much Friday morning, as the combination of ice earlier with a growing layer of snow will make for slippery roads and sidewalks. The snow will continue throughout the day Friday. Forecasts still can't determine how much snow we will actually get. Likely predictions go from a couple inches to up to 6 inches or more by the time the snow stops later on Friday. Saturday will be clear and sunny, but will be cold again with a high of 19 degrees and a low of a crisp 2 degrees. Sunday will be partly cloudy with a nice average of 30 degrees during the day and getting as low as 19 degrees in the nighttime. I'm Ryan Powers from BWN. Back to you, Carisha.
The Write-In Studio is open and ready to help the MCLA community flourish in their writing assignments and projects. To visit them by appointment, schedule a time at the website. They are open Sunday, 5 to 6 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 12 to 1 p.m., and 6 to 9 p.m. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation has created a website and toolkit to assist local municipalities addresses safety concerns and speed issues. Their goal is to help identify risk and support immediate solutions in order to ensure safety roads. Children's book author and MCLA alumni Mary Lee Donovan will be discussing her 5th book with education professor Margaret Clark on February 3rd in an online session at 12 p.m. Beacon editor Delana Yamawaki and I interviewed Professor Clark on her work and experience working with Donovan to prepare for the upcoming discussion. You can join in at the link below. Mary Lee Donovan graduated from MCLA with a BA in English in 1983. Donovan has been an editor for 31 years, and now she is pursuing her career in writing and publishing. In this interview, Professor Clark talks about her experience working with Donovan.
The alumni office that connected Mary Lee and I, as she is an alumna of MCLA. And so we are just getting to know each other, and we're invited to come together for this fireside chat. So I think a lot of what we'll learn about each other will happen during the conversation, which will be exciting.
Professor Clark's research focuses on young children's development and provides support for adults that care for them. Do you think that the books that Donovan are writing relates to your research in any way?
Research and my teaching, both. I have taught a class at MCLA for graduate students in our master's program in education on children's literature. When I've used books in the past with children, and I used to be a preschool teacher, and when I've used books in my class, both with young children and with students at MCLA, I think it helps us really understand and explore these big topics.
Do you think that books like the ones Donovan published can help create a safe space for both children and parents?
So back in 2008, I started my own master's research on exploring the topic of peace with young children. I asked the students, these young 4, 5, 6-year-olds, to draw a picture or to tell me about what peace means to them. And I found out that peace could mean a whole bunch of different things. For some of them, it meant being peaceful out into the natural world and taking care of our earth and understanding the natural cycles of earth. Thrilled with the opportunity to interview her and learn more about her process.
Now from the Beacon. MCLA's Environmental Studies Department and the Berkshire Environmental Resource Center are hosting their Green Living Seminar series on greening the city. Beacon reporter William Shannon has more on this week's topic, sustainable zoning and municipal building decarbonization strategies. Co-editor-in-chief Katie Napier has the details on this month's SGA meeting, where they discuss changes in the SGA election rules that will expand voting to part-time students and give students more time after elections to receive signatures and join student government. Co-editor-in-chief Mac O'Brien talks to school officials to learn more about the drop-in enrollment numbers and plans for the future. Reporter Jillian Career writes about the training students to become wellness ambassadors to provide support for their peers in need. You can read these and many more over at theonlinebeacon.com or pick up a copy all over campus. That's it for this week. To stay updated with BWN, you can follow us at Facebook at facebook.com/MCLABWN. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.